What's up, buddy? It's what, Jim? And let's do another Ask Me Anything and Everything. And this time it's for the month of May. And I've not done one of these for a while, so I'm glad to be doing one of these again. I hope everyone's doing well watching this. We're talking about what movies I've been watching lately and just what video games I've been playing, just all sorts of stuff I've been doing lately, as well as answering any questions I might get given for this live stream. So hope everyone's doing well. We've got Drew. Hello, Drew. Hope you're doing well. So I guess we can now just get started with what movies and TV I've been watching. I've not been doing Ask Me Anything and Everything live stream for a while because, well, it's because I've just been very busy. I've been going to quite a few places, been doing quite a lot of other live streams. So I'm finally happy that we can finally get down to doing this for this month. So yeah, for movies and TV, I've got nothing to really mention about the TV. But for movies, I watched all the Rocky films, and soon I'm going to be doing a video on ranking all the Rocky films. I was actually going to do it next week, but there's actually a different video idea of doing next week instead. But I'll definitely be doing a video on ranking those films, and it's a PowerPoint I made on ranking them. And yeah, I really enjoyed pretty much all the Rocky films. I'm not going to say what my favorite is. I'm going to save it for that video. I also watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I've done a review for, and I thought that was pretty great. I preferred it to the second Guardians movie, but the first Guardians of the Galaxy film is still my favourite. And I watched the second Guardians of the Galaxy film in anticipation for the third one. And I'm glad I rewatched it, even though it's my least favourite of the trilogy. I still think it's a very good film. And the latest film I saw was Fast X. I saw it last week, and I'm not the biggest Fast and Furious fan, but I still enjoy all the films, and I enjoyed this one as well. If I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty great film, but it's not one I'm looking to rush to watch again, but I'm looking forward to the next Fast and Furious film, whenever that comes out. I've got my dad, Toonami Steve. I look forward to hearing about your busy day today. Yeah, well, I'll get to that later in the live stream, but a very busy day today. But that's really it for movies. I've not been really seeing many movies. I'm a little bit behind on movies. Didn't really watch many videos these last few weeks. But for music, quite a few things to mention. I got through all the Paul McCartney's music on Spotify, all the studio albums, and that took quite a few weeks, but I'm glad I finally got that finished. And now I'm moving on to John Lennon. Then after that, I've listened to pretty much all the studio albums for the solo Beatles that are available on Spotify. And I've also been listening to more George Harrison albums on vinyl. I listened to a couple of the singles from the vinyl box that I got today. It was the I Got My Mindset a New single and the When We Was Fab single, which the more I hear the song When We Was Fab, the more I think that is one of my favourite George Harrison songs, actually. It's probably in our top 15 George Harrison songs. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I went to a record store day, and that was in Newcastle, which I'm mentioning quite a few times in this live stream. It's the nearest city to where I live, and I bought the Rolling Stone Beggars Banquet, which I have shown on a live stream before. I'm not sure if it was on my channel. I think it might have been, but I also been listening to Chris Stapleton's discography, and I did a live stream talking about the Chris Stapleton ranking of top 10 songs and the albums of his with Jason the Your Millennial, and it was on and Jacob Martin, as it was on Jacob Martin's channel. So if you're a fan of Chris Stapleton, I definitely watch that live stream. And I'm not going to spoil anything in case you want to watch that live stream, but yeah, it was a really fun live stream, and I'm glad I listened to all 4 of Chris Stapleton's albums. I also going to be going through the America CDs, which I got given from Rich Trickler. So a big thanks to you, Rich, for those CDs. And I'm listening to one every 2 weeks. So I listened to Homecoming today. I skipped the first one as I've heard it a couple of times already. One on Spotify, one on vinyl. So the one I listened to today was Homecoming. And I think I preferred it. I thought it was pretty much perfect all the way through. And I didn't think there was any filler. It was 33 minutes, and I thought that was just the right length. I think the first America album is a little bit too long. I thought this one was just the right length. I could also talk about what albums I've been listening to lately. I've currently listened to 151. After the live stream, I'm going to listen to the Freewheeling Bob Dylan as it came out 60 years ago. And my top 3 songs for that are, my number 3, I can't remember what it's called. I have to look. I'll have to look at the track to see here to see what I might even want to change my top 3. So my number 3 is Don't Think Twice is Alright. My number 2 is Hard Rain's Gonna Fall. My number 1's Blowing in the Wind. Yeah. But it's an incredible Bob Dylan album. I don't think it's a perfect one. I think it's a little bit too long, but I still think it's an awesome album. And I've also been listening to the Rough Guide to Chuck Berry, which I did a short on getting that record, on showing that record. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. My top 3 songs for that, and my favourite is Johnny Be Good. Second favourite might be Havana Moon, which I think is quite an underrated one. My third favourite is probably You Can Never Tell. I think it's that one. Oh, we've got Briar. Hello, Briar. It's great to see you here. I also did Sgt. Pepper's. I think was it yesterday? It wasn't. Yeah, it was yesterday. It does not feel like yesterday. It feels like ages ago. But yeah, this is the Sgt. Pepper's yesterday, as it came out 56 years ago. And you also listened to Walls and Bridges by John Lennon. I thought that was incredible. And London Town by Paul McCartney and Wings. Hotel California, heard that for the first time. And Islands, Running on Empty. Islands is by King Crimson, and Running on Empty is, of course, by Jackson Browne, which you can see behind me here. I also recently bought Lake for the Sky by Jackson Browne, which you can also see on my bed next to me over there. I've not listened to it yet, but I'll get to it at some point. Also listened to Paul Simon's new album. I thought that was really amazing. I feel like lately I've been listening to a lot of really amazing music. Yeah, but that Paul Simon album, it's a very unique album. It's a concept album, and it's all in one song. It's a 33-minute song, but it's just one song. And I think it would have been nice if it was split into several songs. Maybe, yeah, just 7 songs would have been nice. And then I was going to mention about another album of Mind Games by John Lennon. I thought Mind Games was incredible. I think it's a very underrated album. My favourite song from it is the title track, Mind Games. I think that's enough talk about music now. There's quite a lot of music to talk about there. So now I'll get to the video games. What video games I've been playing? I've done Hogwarts Legacy. I've done the story for that game. But I'm still going to do a few more side missions. I might get all the side missions done in Hogwarts. I guess I'll have to wait and see. I also did a bit more Disney Speedstorm. I don't think as much as I did last time. I mentioned it, if I have mentioned it before. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that game. Lego Brawls, I'll be doing more of that as well. And did God of War Ragnarok again. Hadn't been on it since I completed the story in January. Red Dead Redemption 2 went on that for a day. Still my favourite video game. And I started a new video game, but it came out last year. And it's called Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And I think it's a really great game. I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought. And my dad's really enjoying it as well. It's a very fun, very relaxing game. I think it's just the right amount of challenge. I'm loving it. And there's this cooking game in the game, in that Kirby game. It's really fun. It's really funny. But I also played Goat Simulator 3 for the first time with 4 players. And that was quite funny, having all of us playing as goats in Goat Simulator 3. And after this live stream, before listening to the Bob Dylan album, I'm going to be playing Hot Wheels Unleashed. Not been on that game for a while. So that's pretty much it for video games. See what's going on here. Right, so there's a lot of albums, 173 albums this year so far. So you are, if I'm on 152, that means you are 173. Yeah, you're about just over 20 albums ahead of me. We've got Abby, the young Jen, who's actually Jason, your millennial sister. Do you play The Sims 4? It's my favourite computer game. I know what The Sims is, but I've never played a Sims game, if I'm being honest. I might play, if there's a new Sims game, I might play it, but I'm not really sure what console you can play it on. If you can play it on PlayStation, I might check one of those games out. We've got the viewer Drew saying, I apologize if we already asked this, but what's your favourite Queen song aside from Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't think you have asked that, have you? I don't remember you asking that, but for me, my favourite is Bohemian Rhapsody, but second, but I can't go with that for this, so instead I'm going to go with Radio Gaga, which is my favourite song of the 80s, and it's my second favourite song by Queen. It used to be my favourite song of all time. And I've got a few miscellaneous things to say. First of all, I've got a couple of tribute concerts coming up. I've got one for Elvis and one for Pink Floyd, celebrating the 50 years of the Dark Side of the Moon. The more I hear that album, the more I love it. But the big news of what I did today was I went to a Comic-Con in Newcastle. I went to a comic convention, and on Wednesday I was going to do a Rocky ranking, but instead I'm going to do a review on the whole experience. And I also saw Mike, aka Did You See That there briefly? And I went with a college friend of mine when I became friends with him when I was in college. But of course, I'm not in college anymore, but he still is. But just the weekend, he came with us to Comic-Con, and he really enjoyed it. He said it was one of his best days of his life. And I loved it too. In fact, my latest short was Simon Bird, he's an actor he was in one of my favourite TV shows called Friday Night Dinner. He was also in The In-Betweeners, which I never really watched that, but I know what it is though. I've seen bits of it, and yeah, I met him and he shouted out my channel and said, "Please subscribe to What the Gym." It was an idea that me and my dad thought we thought, let's go ahead and do it. Nick Frost was there, so we're going to get him up first, but in the end we just went with Simon Bird to ask him to shout at my channel, and we couldn't believe he did it. And I said shalom to him because it's one of the quotes from Friday Night Dinner. Radio Gaga's great song. One of my favourites is "Don't Stop Me Now." Oh, his favourite is "Don't Stop Me Now." That is a great one. I love that one. But the comical looks fun. Yeah, it definitely was fun. And stay in tune for that video Wednesday, True. I hope you'll enjoy it if you watch that one. But yeah, it was such a fun time. Last time I went to Comic-Con, I think, was early last year, I think. And I really enjoyed it then. But not as much as this time. This is probably my favourite Comic-Con I've been to. The third one, the fourth. The second one I went to was Durham. The first was in Birmingham. But this is still my favourite one that I absolutely loved. Going to Comic-Con today, I bought some really great stuff. You'll be seeing a short on that. I was going to do a short on the whole Comic-Con experience, but there's too much footage to do it for a short. And I think there's quite a few things I want to say about it, so I'll stick to do the video for it. Brian saying, what album is currently at the top of your want list? I'm going to look at my top 50 albums and see which one I haven't got on vinyl would I like to get. Let's have a look. My top 50 albums. I've got so many things on notes here. Let's have a look. Where is it? Let's see. Probably the one I want to get the most is I wanted to get The Stranger on vinyl, but I think it's too expensive, so I just bought it on CD instead. Probably, I'm going to look. Just As I Am by Bill Withers. I wouldn't mind getting one of his albums on vinyl. Or I think the one I wouldn't mind getting the most is Every Picture Tells a Story by Rod Stewart. And also recently, Tina Turner passed away. So RIP to you, Tina Turner. Very sad news, but she lived a great life and she released so many great songs in her life. And yeah, she'll be missed, but she'll never be forgotten. I'll just delete what I've been up to lately. I don't need that notes anymore. Right, there we go. I've still got 53 notes though. And in fact, I close the phone because my phone's not actually got that much percentage. It's only got about 20%. But yeah, the album I want to get the most is Every Picture Tells a Story by Rod Stewart, which has my favourite Rod Stewart song, being Maggie May. Although I'm a big fan of the song Mandolin Wind on it. A great question though. My dad said, hey, tell a 33mm film sell under the script, or do they need to wait until full review? Well, I wasn't going to mention it at all, just going to save it for the short, but I might briefly talk about them in the review. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I'm not going to talk about it here though. I want my rhinos. Chris eyes are just too damn expensive. Yeah, I know Alvin you're on about. This one's got Wicked Game. I think it's also got Blue Hotel on it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting that one as well. I know my dad really wanted the Hotel California album I got from Rich, but Dad, you're still not having that. You're still not having that. But not caught up yet. We've got Rising. Great choice. I definitely would get Tina Turner in the collection at some point. I actually got a compilation of Tina Turner. Was it my dad who got it? Or was it me who got it? Either way, one of us has got a best of Tina Turner in our collection. I remember liking it quite a bit. My favourite song of hers is The Best. I think it just quite simply is the best song by her, in my opinion. And also we've got Red Dead Redemption picture there. Red Dead Redemption 2. I actually bought a Red Dead Redemption 2 picture today. It got Comic-Con, in fact. But I can't even caught it with what I wanted to say, what I've been up to in the chat. Already we're 16 minutes in. So this will probably be the shortest after anything and everything. But I think this is the month, this is the time I've got the least amount of stuff to say. Comic-Con's really the main thing. I've been going out to quite a few places, but mainly garden centres. And I'm sick of garden centres now. But it's worth it because I think our garden's really great now. Trying to think what else I could really say. What else I've been up to lately. But that's pretty much the main things I mentioned. But yeah, all around me I've got some Jackson Browne albums. My favourite still is self-titled. Yeah, I love Jackson Browne, one of my favourite American singer-songwriters. Maybe I could talk a bit more about what albums I've been listening to lately, but I might do a video maybe showing you all the albums I've listened to this year once the year's over. Who knows? Who knows? But I've been thinking about what my future might be for my YouTube channel, but at some point I'm going to stop doing videos. I'm not sure when, but maybe in a couple of years I want to stop doing videos and just do live streams and shorts. But that's not going to be for at least a few months. I don't think I'm going to be stopping videos. I'll try my best to not stop any videos until maybe next year. But I'm still loving doing videos. But do one a week definitely was a good goal. It was draining me a little bit doing 2 videos a week. Hey Mike, yeah, he was. I forgot. Yeah, I think I did mention that he was at Comic-Con as well. It was great. It's great to see you there, Mike. Hope you're well, mate. Great to see you today. Yeah, definitely was. Yeah, I look forward to next time we meet up. It was quite brief, but there was a lot of stuff to do in Comic-Con. It was quite overwhelming at first. Loads of places to shop around. Loads of quite a few celebrities there, and yeah, it was just a really, really great experience. I'm looking forward to when. Well, hopefully there'll be another Comic-Con at Newcastle at the Utilita Arena, which is where I saw Whitesnake, Foreigner, and Europe. I saw them in that place. It's crazy that they turned into a Comic-Con for today. But I'm probably going to conclude this live stream soon. I'll probably wait another 5 minutes or so, and then I'll probably get out of here for today. And yeah, Monday's the short on the gifts I recently bought at the gifts I bought at Comic-Con. Really pleased with the gifts I bought there, and yeah, I was really pleased with today. And, I have seen a couple of the films lately than Fast X. I saw a film yesterday called G-Force. I could talk a bit about that, and I also watched Half of Monsters Inc., which I got finished today. Monsters Inc. What can I say? It's my favorite animated movie of all time. I think it's absolutely amazing. I love it. It's funny, quotable and funny. And my favorite funny part is put it in where it came from. Also helped me, gets me every time. I always like when somebody says Celia Wheelia. I find that quite funny. Celia says Sunny Wally, and somebody says Celia Wheelia. But G-Force, when I first saw it, I wasn't a fan. But who went with Comic-Con yesterday? Who went with to Comic-Con today? He watched G-Force with me yesterday, and I think he really enjoyed G-Force. But I'm not a massive fan of the film. But when I rewatched it, I thought this is quite a good movie. I quite like it. I think the performances are funny. My favourite character in it is the guinea pig called Hurley. So I think Comic Con getting you to these for another year or two. That's moving to stage permanently. Or the stage. Well, the stage is in Newcastle. So as long as it's in Newcastle, I'm okay there. But yeah, the stage is where I saw the people like Beatles one time. A Carpenter's tribute was there. Don McLean was there. I was tempted to see Europe again there, but didn't in the end. But I've already seen Europe twice anyway. So yeah, after this live stream, we're chilling out playing some video games. Listen to this album, then go to bed. We're going out somewhere tomorrow, meeting friends for lunch. We're going to Berwick, which is about an hour from where I live. We're going to be meeting some Scottish friends there that we've not seen for a while. Well, that's hey Mike, nice to see you today. You're going to Comic Con at St Jesus Park. I'm sure it's there also soon. Yeah, I think I've heard it's also there, Dad. Not sure if I want to go. I think I spent up after this Comic Con. Unless it's in a few months. If it was in a few weeks, I'm not going. I've just need to deal with what I recently bought. I think I bought 8 things in total. But if Mum and Dad are watching this, there's a box next to my bed. Could you move it, please? Because you can't really see the album that's on it, which is The Lake for the Sky, Jackson Browne album. So if you watch this, Mum and Dad, can you move the box, please, so we can show you the album? The album's not even open yet. But I think once I show you the album, I'm going to conclude today's live stream of Ask Me Anything and Everything. And I'll continue with it next. What would it be? It'll be next month. I'll be doing that. I can hear someone coming in.
Sorry, guys.
Got a bum coming in.
I was looking for something in this box.
What were you looking for?
It's a long story.
I'm also wearing my Avengers Infinity War necklace of the Infinity Gauntlet. Don't worry, it's not the real one. I'm not going to wipe out half the universe.
You can see Jackson Browne album.
But now you can see the Jackson Browne album. Lake for the Sky, which came out, I think, 1974, 75, somewhere around there.
The cellophane, it's a bit shiny.
8 tracks in total, don't know any of them yet. So, looking forward to that. We can have a drink as well, please.
Drink break.
Drink the blackcurrant. Mix change to the water apple juice.
See you shortly.
Well, I think I'm going to be concluding this in a few moments.
Okay.
Appreciate you all watching. If you leave a like on this live stream, I really appreciate that. Looking forward to Hot Wheels. I'll try my best to beat my dad on it. Look forward to listening to the Freewheeling Boblin album. Happy 60th album anniversary to the album. And before I go, I'll mention one thing about the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album. That some people think came at the 1st of June, but it was going to be the 1st of June, but they brought it forward to the 26th. So I think it was the 26th of May that it did release. Right, it's a great stream, Alan. Take care. Take care, Brian. I look forward to having you again on my channel soon. I think it's been trying to think last time I had you on. It was for my VC anniversary live stream. So yeah, it was great to have you on there. Thanks for joining today, Brian. And I think I'll conclude it here. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a great rest of the day and rest of the year. And I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream or even the YouTube short. Even the YouTube short I'll be doing. So till next time, everyone. Ciao.